So in my last video, I showed you almost everything that's in my backpack on my world trip, but I left out one important and my favorite section, which is tech. Now let's start with the basics. I think unless you're doing any kind of photo or video or tech-related projects while you're traveling, then you don't really need a lot at all. In fact, there are only very few things that I think almost everyone will probably want to take. The first thing would be a smartphone. I recently upgraded to an iPhone 10 simply because it's my main camera. It's what I use to take photos and videos every day. It's what's filming me right now. And I do so many other things with it. There's so many amazing apps that help you when you're traveling. I still carry a real computer to edit these videos and to write really long emails, to do research, but I do almost everything else on the phone. And I think a smartphone is kind of essential at this point. Headphones. Apple came out with these true wireless headphones, the AirPods, a few months before I started the trip, and at first I wasn't going to get them because I thought it's yet another thing to charge and what if I lose them, but I'm so happy I've got these. I love listening to really loud music in the morning, and having these where you don't have a cable run down your shirt is just so much better. Also day to day, just walking down the street, listening to a podcast, these are amazing. And the things I was worried about are really non-issues. You're not going to lose them if you just take care of them and put them back in the box after you use them. And charging, I just plug them in the morning after I unplug my phone for a few minutes, and that's enough. So while these are amazing for everyday life, I really recommend some noise canceling headphones for all the times you'll be in transit. I've kept track of the time we've spent in cars and buses and planes over the past 8 months, and it's been over 300 hours. And whenever I'm in a situation like that where there's kind of a constant background noise, I use these. These are the Bose QC20, and they're active noise canceling headphones, which means they cancel out the surrounding noise and you can listen to your music or to your podcast quietly without having that airplane engine in the background. It is such an improvement to your quality of life. They come in a little pouch like this that makes it really easy to put them away, keeps them protected, and there's even some room in here for the charging cable. Sometimes it's nice to watch a movie or listen to a podcast with someone else using headphones. For that, I recommend carrying a little headphone splitter. Now, having a USB stick with you comes in handy for two reasons. The first one is that sometimes you have to print stuff, and giving this to the reception or the print shop is just the easiest way to do it. The second one is that some rooms, like this Airbnb, have a TV, and almost every modern flat screen TV has a USB port in the back. And if you happen to have some of your favorite movies on the USB stick, you can watch your movies on the TV. Next up, a Kindle e-reader. I have no idea how people ever traveled with actual books. I mean, I get it, reading a paper book is a nice experience, but when you're traveling, getting rid of any extra gram really makes a difference. And this holds thousands of books. I can buy new books in a matter of seconds, and it is just so slim and light. I really like the Kindle Paperwhite. I've had this for years. Amazon has come out with newer Kindles since then, but this has lasted me a very long time and I still think it's perfect. Now, before I started my trip, I considered traveling without a computer. I was just gonna use my phone and like an external Bluetooth keyboard to write stuff, but it turns out you do need a computer, especially if you're doing video stuff like this, but also just for researching stuff, planning out the next few stops, finding a hostel, finding a couchsurfing host. A computer makes it a lot easier. I have the MacBook Air 11-inch. They don't even make this anymore. I still love it. It's very small and light. If I were to get a computer today, I would get the 12-inch MacBook, which is even thinner and lighter than this one. Having a computer and a phone also means you have to carry chargers. And speaking of charging, different countries have different plugs, so you need adapters. I prefer having a little bag of individual adapters like this over a universal adapter because those things are always kind of clunky and unreliable. And this means you can just take out the one adapter that you need in the specific country and you can leave the rest in the little pouch. Okay, I think most people will probably get away with just carrying what I just showed. But now let's get into things that are maybe a little nerdier. So I use my phone as my video camera, and there are a few accessories that make that feasible. The first one is a tripod. I use the GorillaPod 1K combined with the Glyph, which gives me a really secure way to attach my phone almost anywhere. And then to be a little bit more flexible with the field of view, I bought a Moment lens. This is the wide angle lens from Moment. I just started playing with this, but so far I'm really impressed. The quality is amazing, and it's just nice to have that kind of wide angle option, especially for vlogging. And then for audio, I have a lavalier mic from Sennheiser that I'm using right now. I think it is amazing quality, works great. I also have a Lightning extension cable, which allows me to go away pretty far from the camera using this mic. Not every Lightning cable supports audio pass-through, so I actually tested a few until I found one. I'll put the link in the description. But obviously that isn't really an option when you're out and about vlogging. So for that, I was going to use the Shure MV88. I've had this for a while. It plugs straight into the phone. It's a stereo mic, very good quality. I've used this actually many times to record audio only, to do a podcast kind of thing. But I haven't had much luck getting reliable audio out of this shooting video, especially while moving the phone. So I actually want to look into the Rode Video Micro as an alternative. I know a lot of people use that with their phones, and see if that works better. And when you're editing video, there's obviously a lot of huge files. You're producing a lot of data. So I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive. It's the Seagate Backup Slim Plus. It's super thin, super light, and really fast. I connect it via USB 3 and edit straight off the hard drive. It works. And then I have some SD cards and micro SD cards. I use the micro SD cards with the drone. These are super fast, super high capacity, and my MacBook doesn't have a card reader, so I have an external card reader. And now onto my favorite toy, the drone. Obviously, it would be quite a stretch to say you need a drone for a world trip. In fact, I would say you should probably not bring a drone, because it does add a lot of weight. These batteries aren't super light, and also some complexity. There are even a few countries that don't allow bringing a drone in the first place. I'll probably make a video about traveling with a drone in the future. But if you are a photographer or you are making video projects, then man, this thing is a lot of fun to have. This is the Mavic Pro. When it came out, it was obviously really kind of the smallest professional drone that you could get. I still think it's amazing how small this is. Obviously, DJI just came out with the Mavic Air, which is even smaller, even lighter, and has basically all of the same features that this drone has. Also shoots in 4K. So if I were to start the trip today, I would get the Mavic Air, but I still love this thing. And I carry it in a Polar Pro bag that has enough room for the drone, the controller, 2 batteries, and the Polar Pro filters. These ND filters are absolutely necessary if you want to try to get kind of cinematic shots. They are amazing. And then in addition to this, I have another battery. I have 4 batteries in total, because once I'm flying, I usually like to keep flying. And also the Fly More kit came with this adapter that lets me use these batteries with any USB device, so I can charge my phone with this as well. And then the drone, of course, also comes with a charger, so that's another thing you have to carry. So that's it. That's all the tech that I currently carry with me. You can see what else is in my backpack in this video. And if you enjoyed this video and you would like to know more about my travels, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you next week.